Hey young adults, welcome to our Advent special. My name is Erin Hargrave, and I'm going to lead us through tonight as we seek to engage in Advent together in a new way. We wanted to do this in person, but with everything going on, we had to switch to digital. But we still have some fun stories and fun surprises coming up over the next 20 minutes. So grab your favorite holiday drink, cuddle up under your blanket, and let's get going. Our first guest is Camille Holland, our young adults pastor, and she's going to talk to us about what Advent is and why we should engage in it.
Welcome to our Advent celebration. Now, this is not quite what we were expecting for this event. We were hoping to be in the town square at IBC, singing Christmas carols and enjoying hot chocolate and being together in one large room. But it's 2020, and so we can't engage quite the way that we were hoping. But I'm thankful for you joining us this way from the comfort of your own home or space and learning what it means to engage in the season of Advent. Advent means arrival. It means coming. And that's what we are celebrating right now. And that's what we want to tell you a little bit about and what you'll learn as you watch this video. We have some conversations with young adults, with some kids, with some of the designers at IBC who are all talking about their Advent experiences and the ways in which they're engaging this season. And now the thing about Advent is it's a season of waiting for the arrival of something or someone. And as followers of Jesus, most of us are waiting for the arrival of Jesus. Now, I know what you're going to say. Yes, Jesus has already come. He was born, he lived and died, and thank the Lord he was resurrected. And so we're not necessarily waiting for his birth, but we are waiting for a second coming, a time when he will come again and make everything right once and for all. But in this season of waiting, we remember what it was like to wait for his birth. And we understand and we live the experience of waiting right now for him to come again. And for many of you, 2020 has been all about waiting for a vaccine, waiting to be together in person with family members or friends or your church community, waiting for things to change. Maybe you're on furlough and you're waiting to be able to go back to work full time. Waiting for something new, for something different. And what Jesus does is he changes the world. He turns everything upside down. The way that the world was functioning before, he comes in and he says, no more. We're going to do it differently. And that's part of what we want to celebrate in this season. And I know for a lot of you, when you think about waiting, it's hard and it's difficult. And it might be even hard to hope for something different. And in the season, IBC is focusing on 4 things. And one of those very things is hope. How do we hope and wait expectantly for something new, for Jesus? How do we experience joy in the waiting, in a season where we've been separate and alone and experienced anxiety? How do we experience peace? Things have not been peaceful. Crazy, tumultuous election, combined with the pandemic, combined with racial unrest, peace. How do we experience peace in this season? And love. And love is hard when you can't be with the people that you love. It's hard when you feel like you've seen so many nasty things on social media. Love, how do we experience that in this season? So as you watch this video, I want you to learn from the experiences of those in our community. I want you to listen to their stories. And I hope that it comforts you. I hope that you see maybe a little bit of yourself in their stories. I hope that you will engage this season of Advent in a different way, or maybe in a new way. Maybe it's your first time engaging the season of Advent. Whatever it is, I hope that you will participate this year. And one of the things that we're going to offer you after this premiere, we have a guide that we are printing and publishing for you guys. And in that guide, it will give you some ways to engage Advent. And we're focusing on the five senses. So we're going to have some questions and activities that focus on how you see Advent using your eyes, how you smell, what are the smells of Advent, the things that you touch, those kinds of things. And so it's going to be a very different way to engage Advent, but I hope that you will download our guide. We'll make it available on our website. There will be ways for you to download it from our Instagram and our social channels. And if you subscribe to Young Adult Emails, we will email it to you. And we just want you to participate in that. You can do that whether you're with people or not. But guys, I am so thankful that I get to be a part of your lives. I love being young adult pastor, and I'm so happy to be in this role and working with you and volunteering and serving alongside you. And I really want to wish each of you a very Merry Christmas. I hope that you can spend it with family and friends, whether you're on Zoom or you're on person. I hope that you can make the most of this holiday season. Have a great night.
We want to share some stories of how young adults at IBC are engaging with the Advent season in different ways. So first up, we have one of our couples, the Bexleys, who are new to engaging with Advent. This is their second year, but they have really been exploring what it means for them as a couple within their home and within their community. So let's see what they have to say about it.
All right. Well, welcome, Jameson and Serena. We are going to talk a little bit about Advent, and I'd love for you guys to share with young adults kind of what you did maybe last year and what you're doing this year to celebrate the season.
Yeah, I think so. This is only our second Christmas together as like a married couple. So I feel like last year we were really just like Christmas spiriting everywhere, like all the Christmas parties. We hosted Christmas parties. We saw like 100 lights, and we were just really trying to like do everything in Dallas. Would you say so?
This year's Christmas movies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we, at the beginning of November, we made a giant list of all the Christmas movies we wanted to watch, and we've just been knocking them out in November. Starting in November, we didn't quite wait for Advent.
That's okay.
But yes, we just really love to like get into the whole Christmas spirit, and that's kind of what we carried over from last year. But this year, I think, especially with relying so much more on the resources IBC has given us about Advent, we're really pouring more into that. You know, the women's group is doing like a study, Expectant Hope, done by Tiffany Stein. So I'm doing that with my formation group every day. So that's really cool to like engage in community. And we are doing all the Christmas parties with the organizations we're involved in, like High School Ministry and young adults. And then we're hoping to help out with Arise's Christmas party event. So yeah, just really trying to give back and engage more so than just enjoying our Christmas movies and Christmas decorations.
Well, tell me, what is Jesus teaching you in this season, especially with all the changes from this whole year? What's God teaching you as you approach Christmas Day?
I think I have two things. I think the first thing, just for me personally, is just abiding in God and really having Him as my constant and my hope. Because I'm just thinking about even this year. You know, one constant for me has always been spending time with my both direct and extended family around the holidays. And the odds that I can do both of those things safely, I mean, it's probably not going to happen. So something that was constant for me in spending Christmas with my family is not. And so it's just a reminder that, you know, the only unchangeable thing is truly God. The second thing is I really liked the Advent season because I really think it's those candles we light are the characteristics of God. I don't know if I'm going to remember all of them. I think joy, peace, hope.
I don't
know what the fourth one is.
It's the Jesus candles in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think there peace. Did I say peace? I think I said peace. Whatever. I think that,
We're new to Advent. We didn't do this before.
Exactly. But I think that it's teaching me is those are, I think, characteristics of Christ, and as Christians, we're to be Christ to the world.
Yeah.
And so around this season, like giving back as much as you can, both with your resources, and time is a lot harder, but where you can, time, especially during this season.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I actually would say that I think that Jesus has really been telling me that I have a lot to give, a lot of time to give, a lot of resources to give, and I should be doing it. Like, it would be really easy for me to like sit and be mad that I can't throw Christmas parties, but instead I'm just going to try and find all the ways we can like help other people celebrate and like really get into the spirit of Advent. And that's been more what Jesus has been telling me. I feel like we have really just gotten so much more involved, and I've really just poured way more time into like spending my time like with Jesus and with God, and honing my like rhythms of a missionary disciple. And I think that if I didn't have this giant pause, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to like create these meaningful relationships with people outside of my immediate circle, because I would have been like, too many friends, I don't have time, I'm already seeing all these people. And now I just have so much more time that I need to fill, because I need to be doing something at all times. And if I can be doing that by giving back, I feel like that's exactly what I should be doing. So that's what I have found that I've been being taught in this season.
That's awesome. I love it. I love that you guys are finding unique ways to really lean into the season and listening to the Lord and what he's showing you, and abiding and serving. I think those are definitely characteristics of missionary disciples. They're characteristics of, gospel, good news people that we talked about in the fall. And so I love hearing that that's what the Lord is teaching you on this season. What's one encouragement maybe that you could give to young adults to encourage them to take part in Advent?
I think what's really cool is you can make it your own. There's no hard and fast rules like you must do this, you have to act this way, you have to complete all of these things. You can get involved as much as you want to, like most things. So even if it's you do one service act, or you like just commit to coming to church every Sunday or watching church every Sunday and seeing how Advent plays out through IBC, you can make it however you want. So make it measurable and make it a way that you can attain that goal. And I think that's the best way to do it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I think that's great. Jameson, I don't want to cut you off. Did you have something else to add?
I mean, I would just say to do your best and get involved.
Yeah.
Because it's such a beautiful thing that the more you give, the more you get. And so I think we have a lot of resources that are virtual right now, IBC, that you can get plugged into.
Just like the Bexleys said, we can engage in Advent in different ways. And sometimes it might not be that easy. 2020 has been a crazy year, and so maybe it's harder for us to live in this season of hope and joy and peace in a fun way, in a way that's helpful. Will Meyer is a longtime IBCer and part of our community. Let's see what he has to say about engaging in Advent during this hard season.
Hey, Will. So thank you for joining us tonight, or joining me tonight,
Sure.
and talking a little bit about Advent. So why don't you tell us kind of how you're engaging the Christmas season, the Advent season this year?
Yeah, so I think if I'm being honest, I've kind of fallen into the thing of like, it sort of rushes up and all of a sudden I'm kind of realizing like I'm not really doing much. Like I was, there's like 4 different like themes for each of the like Advent weeks or whatever. And I was even thinking about like just this year and like hope. And I'm like, is that enough for me right now? Like, to be honest. And so anyway, I'm just kind of like trying to think through that, and trying to be a little bit more engaged than I am right now.
So that's interesting that you said hope. Is that enough right now? Is that because 2020 has just been crazy, or like what are you?
Yeah, I think there's just like, it feels like there's just one thing after another. Mm-hmm. And I think for a lot of people who have like gone through a lot of things in their lives, maybe that is just a thing that they've learned, maybe more than I have.
Yeah.
But it just feels like it's just like this onslaught of one thing. Some things are like maybe indirectly affecting me. Some things directly are.
Mhm.
Yeah, it just feels like it's like a deluge this year.
Yeah, no, definitely. I 100% agree. So if it's been kind of crazy and hard to engage this season, what has the Lord been teaching you or showing you or maybe prodding you with?
Yeah, I think it's just like reminding myself that is what his promises are, and just like that he's never failed us, and like that our circumstances aren't necessarily related to like that consistency and that goodness. So I think it's like things that you kind of know in your head, but I'm having to like remind myself and remind myself and remind myself.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Yeah.
So then what would you suggest or help, how would you remind other young adults who might be struggling in this season as well? What's some advice you would give them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not an expert, but I would just say do that with other people. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just be honest and, listen to each other and help each other out, I guess.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
IBC has a lot of ways for us to embrace the Advent season during this time. They've launched a new podcast. There's the daily devotional. And they have these new design elements on social media, on the stage on Sundays. Well, let's hear from Lindsey, who designed those elements. And she's going to help us see how we can see those elements and engage with the Advent season in different ways at IBC.
Hi, my name is Lindsey Soblick, and I designed the look and feel for Advent for this year at Irving Bible Church. And what I love about Advent is it's this time of waiting and expectation. We celebrate how Jesus came all those years ago, but we also look towards his second coming. So it's this time of waiting, expectation, hope, and this year in 2020, it couldn't come sooner because it's been such a hard year, and if you're feeling hopeless, if you're feeling weary, if you're feeling just longing for something different, this is the good news of Advent, is that there is hope, there is peace, there is joy because of Jesus, because we are so loved. And that's the message for this year, is that we are so loved, and Jesus is the light that has invaded the darkness. And so from that, we came up with the idea of a window motif, that Jesus came through, he is the light that has come through and invaded the darkness. So in a room full of darkness, he is the light that has come through the window, and the light that brings warmth to us. And so also windows kind of represent this, sometimes you want to be on the other side of the window. You're looking through it and you wish you were on the other side. And that's kind of what Advent is sometimes, is we're looking towards where we want to be and where we want to go. We're looking towards the second coming when Jesus comes back, but we're not there yet. And so it's this representation of that longing and expectation that we have. And so from that, I designed a really simple look and feel with clean lines that kind of have some window shapes and lines. The type is really simple, kind of like window panes. It's against a dark background, so it's this light in the midst of darkness. There is hope in the midst of darkness. And we just, throughout the Advent series, be looking for this window motif in the stage design, in our little video bumper that we have. It's all throughout, and I hope this helps you appreciate Advent a little bit more, knowing behind the scenes, and I hope you have a wonderful Advent. You are so loved.
We're almost done for tonight, but let's hear from some future young adults about what Advent means to them.
My name's Levi, and I'm 7 years old.
So my name is Annabelle, and I am 6 years old. And what really Advent is really about is about Jesus.
It means when we celebrate Mary and Joseph's, Jesus' birth, kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I know.
When it's Advent, my dad and me, my mom and my sister and my brother and me, we all sit on the couch and we all read these books and they're Advent books.
Well, so we make cookies and we go outside and play in the snow sometimes and catch snowflakes. And we my mom got some chocolate bombs, so we do, and we'll have like a movie night with cookies and chocolate bombs, and that's what kind of our tradition is, kind of. It's sometimes where you have an Advent calendar and there's numbers, and sometimes you can mark up each day if you want to make your own, or if you want to go buy one, then we got the one that there's little things in it and you can open it each day. And we got some stuff like Mary, we got the manger. Christmas is my favorite. I love about celebrating Jesus' birth, and it's happy to me. I like to make chocolate bombs, and I get to make cookies with my mom, and well, I like spending time with my family. It's great, and they're so nice to me, and they're loving to me. So that's what I like about Advent.
So what I really like about Advent is all about God. But that's not just the thing about God. I just love making cookies with my mom. My mom is a great baker. And about Advent is that we usually praise to the Lord. I forgot you could read Bibles and you could do all those stuff. It's about Advent. It's just about spending time with your family and having fun with your brothers and sisters, and that's the thing what I really love. What do you think Levi?
I think Advent's good. It's mostly about God. God is really good. It's just God's really great. I would love to see him. But when we die, then we'll be with God with heaven. And I think that's what my favorite things about Advent. When I'm glad, I'm not upset when he died on the cross, but for our sins he did that, and that was kind of good, badish, okay?
Well, that's all we have. We thank you for engaging with us, even digitally. We hope that these stories have provided maybe you some hope. Maybe you see that you're not alone, that everyone is in this Advent season doing it differently and in different ways. It's been a weird year, but we are so thankful for our young adults community. We're thankful for all of you who have walked with us during this year. We'll be back in January, but follow us on Instagram to stay updated and see when we kick off. The music playing under me is from one of our young adults, Paul Eiler. He's going to finish us out by singing O Holy Night for us. We thank you for joining us, and we hope you have a Merry Christmas.
Say